information for you lot.
Go on.
A few weeks ago, my entire division got sacked here. All 300 of us. But what's even weirder is that we all got replaced. Like the same day.
Mate, I'm sorry, that's awful.
Yeah, it's alright. I've got a few things lined up. But I can't get this thing out of my head. It's just way too fishy. We were the genuine article. But they tossed us out and replaced us with fakes. I am telling you, they're up to something.
Right, so you want DedSec to look into your replacement then?
Yep. Help me with this and I'll owe you big time.
London is under a state of emergency. Non-essential travel.
A tech corporation acting unethically?
Buddy.
Don't kill me.
I mean, was it an illusion all the time? Who knows? It felt fun. I miss cash, particularly coins. I really miss coins. The fun of doing a heads or tails best of 5 to see if you had to go to the gym, and then best of 7, and best of 9, and 2v1. That was a long losing streak. Now with crypto, all the romance has gone out of heads and tails.
I miss romance, Andy. I miss there being mystery in life. Not just isn't good enough at hacking to find out all the information the government has on you.
Bye for now, bug fans. Keep feeding the echidna resistance, and one day it will grow into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You know what's fucked up? Just by stopping to chat with me, they put you on a list. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Oh, you're with DedSec. Oh, that's brill. I actually need your help with something.
Sure, maybe. What's up?
Me and my friend used to run with an activist group. Trying to take a stand, you know. Well, our last protest didn't go so well. My friend got beaten up by Albion and sent to the hospital. Or so they said. The official story is they died of their injuries, but no one's even been allowed to see the body.
Mate, I'm sorry, that's awful.
I just want to know the truth. All of it. If you can find that out, then I'll be in your debt.
Yeah, that's not good. I'll see what we can do.
The friend's official record states he was taken to hospital before he died.
We should check it out. Might learn something.
Was it good for you?
Pretty much gets everything right first time. Do you have any idea why Bagley really beat all the competition?
Well, it's really the data, isn't it? Ever since Broker hooked up with Bloom, that's when things changed.
And really, that's not actually that great. Bloom has data on everybody. They collect information about everything you're doing across the web through your optic headset. Isn't the AI only good because of Bloom surveillance?
Well, I suppose so, but I'd prefer not to talk about that side of things. Bagley is so special because it's been trained on this huge cache of information. That's how these AI systems work, or at least used to work. I mean, we don't really know that much about the latest version because there's so much secrecy around the tech. But they're given this huge amount of training data. It's basically a huge database that's used to teach the AI about patterns in behavior. You know, so if you always travel the same way to your house, it can predict when you're going to go and get a self-driving car ready for you before you even ask for it.
That's pretty terrifying. In some ways, I don't want this data to drive my life. It understands too much at times. Have you heard some of the rumours around the hacked version of Bagley?
I've heard mutterings, yes.
I've heard it's been used by DedSec.
I wouldn't put it past them. It's pretty well known that they're not fans of Bloom. But the idea of a souped-up version of Bagley, given it's already so intelligent, is a bit terrifying.
I wonder what they can actually make it do.
The first summer without Arctic ice cover. Not long ago, the best predictions placed it a quarter century off. Today, we are facing the possibility it will be this calendar year. Tonight, GBB will be looking into what this means for the planet.
The Buccaneer, this is the Bug. Hello, Resistors, it's Bug time. Are you all sitting comfortably? No? Good. That's as it should be. This is the Bug. I'm Andy, and joining me to analyse the latest blowflies to emerge from the corpse of once free Britain, it's Alice.
Hello, Andy.
And today, we're going to talk to you about Albion, your friends and mine. Alice, the government has extended Albion's contract and have also boasted that violent crime has plummeted to a record low. Now, extending Albion's contract, to me, that's like having a pet dog, let's call it Nigel for the sake of argument, that attacks you every single day and thinking to yourself, wouldn't it be nice if Nigel had puppies?
That contract has been extended so many times, it's like the neck of a politician that's criticised the government.
I'm not sure entirely how those contract extension negotiations went, probably like a footballer. In the old days, I assume Albion's agent was leaking stories to the press about how our favourite private militia was being tapped up by Barcelona. Or the government panics and thinks, well, we better get them signed up before it's too late. But still, violent crime, a record low, although I imagine that probably depends exactly how you count it. If you include violent crime committed by the state, either themselves or via Albion, their chosen violent crime contractors who provide such a very valuable bargain service of beating people up, well, it's probably not quite as low as the figures suggest.
I don't know. I think they're probably right. Who has the opportunity to commit violent crime these days anyway? The moment you pick up a fruit knife, you get tasered by a robot policeman and deported for looking Bulgarian. It's a much more peaceful society. It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts. Alice, I mean, are they paid per dissident ducked up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? And what is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota of some kind.
But what is the set rate? Is it 99.95 cryptos bargain? Seems very reasonable indeed. I imagine they don't ask too much anyway, Albion, because it's just so nice to get paid for doing your hobby anyway, isn't it? Imagine it doesn't even feel like work.
I mean, who needs violent crime anymore anyway? You know, you can just starve to death without even starting a gang war.
We do have to ask exactly what does the Prime Minister make of all this. Let's ask him. Oh, I hope they pick up. Hello, you're through to number 10 Downing Street. Hello, is the Prime Minister there, please? Let me just check. Sorry, you've missed him. I'm afraid he's popped out for the decade. Oh, never mind. Is there anyone else I can talk to? Yes, of course. There's a shady cabal of vested interests who control him and prop him up in power. Great, I'll have a chat with them then.
Oh, Andy, remember when you could get away with prank calls without people coming round to your house to beat the shit out of you?
Oh, happy times.
You're listening to The Bug.
Did you think the Prime Minister will ever come back?
I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister.
Well, that's a much more reassuring way of looking at things. What have we become? Alice, when you look at the state of our politics, we're supposed to have the mother of parliaments. Well, this is one mother that has emphatically abandoned her kids in the woods to be picked up by wolves. And let me tell you, that never works out like it does in the stories. Wolves are bad parents, unless you're a wolf, in which case they can do a job bringing you up as a wolf. Do not give your children to wolves. And do we actually own anything as a country now? Is there anything we haven't flogged off for profit? Oh, I think we've basically just become a homeopathic Britain. Diluted and diluted until there's barely a trace of the original Britain left. But some quackish lunatics insist it actually works better that way. It's total bullshit. Is there anything left? New on the bug this week, a new feature. The Bug Off feature. The person who is making in Britain this week, we're going to tell to bug off. And to get things going, I'm going to nominate Big Nigel. Nigel Bassett, this is Britain. This is going to this place of Sebastian freedom. I'm just not sure that that kind of freedom should involve Big Nigel expressing his freedom to run a private army. I guess historically there is a precedent, the East India Company. That was a trading house with an army of 250,000 soldiers, which was a lot for a company. The Bug PLC has Alice giving it with it. But personally, compared with Albion, the East India Company didn't operate its quarter of a million strong army in London. It's a long way away, out of sight, out of mind. Anyone to nominate for the Bug Off? Alice?
I think today's Bug Off for me goes to my streaming service. I'm sick of being recommended things based on things I already like. The other day it recommended me to watch a reality TV competitive dating show set in a new commune. Andy, I watched it and I liked it, and I do not want to be the kind of person who enjoys new competitive reality television dating shows. I did not want to know that about myself. I could go sit in the corner and cry.
That's it from the Bug. Don't forget the live show that is so secret it is definitely not happening at the usual time and place this month. Definitely not. And definitely do not tell anyone not to come to it. It's definitely not happening.
GBB drones, in the air and on location.
You can see the tailbacks here.
Because when you want the news,
the drones were able to follow the gunman.
Our drones have the news.
Viewers may find some of these images disturbing.
GBB drones, in the air and on the air, 24 hours a day. GBB, know the news.
The Bug, nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, Resistance fans. You're listening to the Bug Podcast, the objective voice of objection for this most objectionable world. I am Andy, not my real name, so good luck finding me, Monsieur Blue. My real name is, in fact, Andrew, and I live in, note this down, a deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is, in fact, the most densely populated place on Earth these days, overcrowded, some would say. Joining me, these Netherlands nonsense. It's Alice.
Yes, indeed, it is Alice. Alice, who the bleep is Alice? I am not going to tell you that, but you can just sort of sense it from the timbre of my voice.
Let's spin the wheel and find out where we're getting today's news from. Here. It's coming from here. I must get a new wheel with at least one other place on it. And the headline today, Alice, our borders are safe. We can all sleep easy in our well. Illegals were deported last month. These illegal people breaking the law just by existing, and of course illegality is contagious. It can osmose through your skin just by standing next to an illegal person. So we've got rid of 4,000 of them. My question for you, Alice, is why only 4,000? Is that really enough? I will not feel safe until at least another 75 million people have been deported from this country, and I'm here in Britain on my own.
As a bleeding heart lefty, Andy, I would normally be out. But really, I think mass deportation is a very handy way to break up with a partner. I'm sorry, baby, I love you, but an anonymous source has reported you for snoring really loudly in a French way.
So everyone out, no exceptions. Alice, not you. It's for the good of the country. Everyone out, unless you can prove that your family are in the background of the Bayeux Tapestry cheering on King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Get out. Actually, that's not British enough. Unless you can show, unarguably, that your direct bloodline is untainted by anything since before the Romans. Actually, scratch that. Unless your direct ancestor was personally responsible for building Stonehenge, get out of North Country. I guess when you look at it, you know, the best ways to stop immigration, apart from, obviously, the end of the world, to make It's a place you want to stop people coming to as unpleasant as possible. So,
Well, we absolutely are doing that, Andy.
well, you know, fair play to the government for helping us with that. Another option: extend the White Cliffs of Dover. They've been resting on their laurels for too long. Very inefficient, it turns out, as a means of stopping immigration. Extend them by about another 11,000 miles, a full wrap around Great Britain, and they could do with being about 1.5 kilometres higher as well, with a special greasy coating to stop people clambering over the top or
Hacked vehicle identified.
Here's a quick joke for you.
Searching for the source.
Did you hear the one about the woman who went into the immigration processing centre and was ever seen again?
No, Andy, I didn't hear that one.
Boom. Set up punchline. For those of you unfamiliar with this, the
better find whoever hacked this vehicle.
Of course, where many of our guests to Britain go for a longer than desirable game of involuntary hide and seek. You are listening to The Bar. I will conclude by saying, out of all the things on the day, I think immigration is right up there, Alice. When you think of all the health professionals we've stolen from overseas over the years here in Britain, it's quite possible that all these people are just coming here to try to get an appointment with their local doctor.
Yes, Andy, certainly someone who came from the expanded arm of the empire when Britain was still reaching out rather than folding in on itself. Most of us just come here to visit our stuff in the museums.
It's the British way.
Speaking of international movement, Britain has recalled all European ambassadors after a spy scandal. I think this is probably a good thing, because British foreign politicians are always putting their foot in their mouths. How much worse can they do if they're not there? I mean, by definition, the fact that this is spy scandal means that they were terrible spies.
You're at the hospital where our prospect's friend died. We can get hold of his full patient record here.
Right, okay.
That's the CTOS up there.
Dickhead, bro! Nah, nothing!
Neutralizing hostile target. Engaging hostile target.
That's the CTOS up there. Well, our prospect should be pleased. Turn. Congratulations. You're the chosen one.
Cool, I'm all over it.
Disassemble unlawful gatherings by any means necessary. People of London, all illegal activities will be prosecuted. see something, say something. We are here to protect you.
That's pretty much the opposite of what our prospect would have wanted. Oh well.
I've been telling you now. I believe this city power.
And shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and locations secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them. Ian was a veteran political writer and podcaster back in the days of pre-crisis Britain.
Is the world we're living in now fascist? Well, this is what fascism is. It is the complete and total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation, and the only meaning that you will find in life is to become part of the nation. What is a nation? The nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does, it's just a myth, but that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one another. But that isn't that rare.
Scouting mission, mate. Can't talk.
Fascism often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
We're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data and how that's been used and manipulated, and what we haven't looked at is the power structures and the profit that lies behind this. For example, if we examine what actually happened, you know, there's a company that's really very interested in selling passports and making it easy to provide visas for investment and so on. And historically, throughout the world, they've been working with this big data manipulation company in order to overthrow governments. And then suddenly, all the chickens came home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Nobody could figure out how things were done.
Get out of my face! I'm warning you!
There's a couple of different ways to be got. Smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well.
All units, possible suspect or suspects reported near your location. Moving to intercept.
And try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve.
Control, target has exited the vehicle. Over.
In a big way, from a lot of little buttons being pushed, but also there's this other.
Suspect crossed the checkpoint.
Gathering of data and the analysis of data has authoritarianism contained in it. It is by its nature a tool for authoritarianism, and it has been
negative. No vision of the suspect.
How does big data look into our lives? James covered it pre-crisis.
All units disengaged. Suspect has disappeared.
Data, and that with data held by the state into what are called social credit systems. This is where every aspect of your behaviour is monitored and totted up by a central system to sort of score you as a person, a bit like a credit card, but predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending. And this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours. And this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you will lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points. And then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, better travel privileges, being able to travel first class, or being denied from travelling first class to not being able to travel at all. These systems are very real and very possible because of all the data that is now held in this.
So if there is a burning and you think someone might be watching this, you're probably they're watching videos. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Broken. Keep listening, keep following the show, and keep it encrypted. They're watching us.
Reserve all identification papers ready.
This is London Hall. You're listening to Buckingham, your source for what they do. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of lupus medicine in an advanced country like ours. And yet, those health government policies and adequate food turn out to be just another lie.
Those are the two Albion creeps our prospect is looking into. You should see what sort of...
Hundreds have already tried easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Jeff Sessions isn't even around to tell you.
No! Stop! You don't want me!
What turns around the
The use of VPNs or other private networks is a criminal offence. Bloom's citywide network is the only official provider in the UK.
Greedy fuck!
went up, there was no
Albion is here for your protection. Your safety comes first.
Have you all forgotten how to do your jobs?
There was a moment before.
Why me, huh? What? Yep, of course.
Huh?
What are you gonna do?
Okay, what is going...
Let's put a lock on that spider.
Who the hell are you? You're in trouble now.
Your comrade is now taking an Albion-mandated timeout. You're up.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen to me, right? Right?
Those are the two Albion creeps our prospect is looking into. You should see what sort of filthy data you can scrape off their optics. Bring bleach.
Squadron search. I have this one. Drone, initiate search.
Clear. Let's move on.
Locking down the spider. Christ!
Intruder's got a spider on us! Search the area!
Facial recognition.
What's that?
Search complete. Sync time codes.
Give up while he still can. Not this fucking mess.
Sierra 4-2, Sierra 4-2, this is Control. An alarm has been activated. Let's find this wanker. Over. Drone, begin search.
Think this through.
They're pissed off.
I'd rather not have to kill you today. Show yourself!
Watch it!
Bloody Muppet, is that the best you've got? Oh!